Morning, Ghana Standards Authority empowers a team of 250 trading inspectors to ensure business compliance and quality standards.
Once they are being traded, they must meet the requirements. If they do not meet the standards and they are substandard, they will be removed from the market.
Also, government urges CITG to prefer suggestions for widening the tax net.
You are professionals, you have the ability, you understand the subject matter. Please assist us to overcome this lacuna.
Plus, Ghana Revenue Authority rakes in over 500 million cedis in the last 4 months through its tax compliance initiatives. My name is Menu Aful. We'll bring you the details of our headlines and many other stories shortly. Thank you for staying with us. In our first story, the Ghana Standards Authority has revealed that a team of 250 trading standard inspectors have been set up to enforce the strictest sanctions on non-compliant businesses. According to the authority, this is a critical step towards maintaining high standards in the country's business landscape. Director General of GSA, Professor Alex Dodu, addressed the media on the site of a visit by the Secretary General of International Organization for Standardization.
These inspectors, according to Professor Alex Dodu, are currently undergoing rigorous training and are being equipped with knowledge and tools necessary to identify violations and irregularities in various industries.
They will be uniformed and their job will be to be on the markets, at the ports, everywhere, to ensure that no matter where the products come from, once they are being traded, they must meet the requirements. If they do not meet the standards and they are substandard, they will be removed from the market and huge penalties, as prescribed by the law, will be applied.
For his part, Secretary General of the International Organization for Standardization, Sergio Mujica, highlighted the importance of ensuring quality and the need to withdraw conflicting standards under the AFCFTA.
We need to provide competitiveness to industry, but also we need to protect people and environment through mandatory regulations that should be based on international standards.
Meanwhile, Secretary General of ASO's Central Secretariat, Dr. Hemogene Nsenjimana, says for the AFCFTA to thrive, there is a need to reduce non-tariff barriers.
We need to withdraw conflicting standard at the national level. That is the key message that we have.
That was a report by my colleague Bismarck Awusa. Away from that, the government has charged the Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana to come out with policies to help the country rope in over 90% of the population that are not within the tax net. Speaking at the 11th Annual International Tax Conference held in Accra, on behalf of the President, Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Osafo-Maafo stated that addressing this challenge could go a long way to improve the country's revenue position.
We in Ghana cannot continue to allow less than 10%, specifically 7.8%. That is 2.4 million people of the population carry the direct tax burden of 31 million. Only 7.8% of the population do the payment of the taxes or the direct taxes. It's certainly too low. And I challenge the Chartered Institute of Taxation, Ghana, CITG, to come up with relevant policies and make the necessary proposals to government for consideration to assist in this endeavor. You are professionals, you have the ability, you understand the subject matter. Please assist us to overcome this lacuna.
You heard Yao Osafo-Maafo, Senior Presidential Advisor. In more business story, the Ghana Revenue Authority has announced that it has collected over 500 million in the last 4 months through its tax compliance initiatives. Additionally, some 3,800 businesses and over 110 players in the e-commerce space have also registered for VAT. These details were shared by the Commissioner General of GRA, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa, at the 11th Tax Annual Conference in Accra.
When we introduce the condition that if you are an enterprise or a company that is importing and you are not registered for VAT, you have to pay the upfront tax of 12.5%. It will amaze you to see that we introduced it on 6th of June. By the 30th of July, we've had 3,600 enterprises registering for VAT. That is in 2 months, less than 2 months. These are people or enterprises who have been importing into the country for years. And until we said that if you you're not registered for VAT, you cannot clear your goods. In 2 months, 3,600 enterprises registered. In the same 2 months, we collected 78 million as upfront payments for the VAT. When we said that if you are an online firm or an e-commerce firm, we have introduced the e-commerce portal, and that was a requirement for you to register on the e-portal. In 4 months, we had over 110 companies registered on the portal, and we collected over 440 million cedis in the month since they started registering.
You heard Commissioner General of GRE, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah. Now let's take your attention to economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie, who is calling for the review of tax exemptions for granted for businesses in the country. According to him, the total exemptions form about 1.5% of the country's GDP. He believes this is enough to fund government's much-touted free senior high school program if collected.
With this current expenditure of free SHS, the 12 billion can finance free SHS for 3 years. So 1 year revenue from the property rate can finance free SHS for 3 years. That's how sustainable it can be. The tax exemptions is costing this country between 1% to 2% of GDP. Tax exemptions. Those who do not pay tax, those who enjoy tax rebates. Per my estimation, 1.5% of today's GDP will be 9.6 billion Ghana cedis. 9.6 billion Ghana. That's more than 3 times the expenditure of free SHS. So if you need money, go and review the tax exemptions and then get some money from there. And this one, I'm even being generous because it can go as high as 12 billion, the tax exemptions.
Economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie there. Now, experts at the first West African Marine Science Symposium have called for sustainable exploitation of marine resources for economic development. They noted fish catch and tourism along the West African coastline contributes 57% of GDP of the sub-region in terms of imports and exports.
With the discovery of rare minerals in the ocean bed and their exploitation, calls have heightened for sustainable use of marine resources. Experts at the West Africa Marine Science Symposium in Accra are of the view conservation and protection of marine resources are crucial for economic development. They say safeguarding communities that depend on the ocean for incomes and livelihood must be a priority.
In Africa, fish probably constitute about 60% of our protein consumption. We need to work effectively to be able to make sure that our fisheries are in good health. We have enough fish to be able to feed the growing population, but also this is also a sector that creates a lot of jobs. So if we have a healthy ocean, then it means that what? We're going to be able to produce a lot of fish. The ocean is the main transport route for most of the imports, the goods that we get.
Pollution of the ocean is negatively affecting fish catch as well as providing health challenges.
We need to reach out to policymakers. We need to reach out to industrialists and let them know that, there's what we call ocean literacy. Educate them about the ocean, that the ocean has a lot of valuable resources. Besides fisheries, we have minerals, we have ocean mining for solid mineral mining, we have marine transportation, we have ecotourism. These are benefits we derive from the ocean.
According to the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association, in 2025, there will be more plastics in the sea than fish.
That was a report by my colleague Eben Ejekum Boateng. Now take a listen to how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are faring on the global markets.
On the interbank foreign exchange market where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar recorded no price change, selling at 11 cedis. The British pound also recorded no price change and it is selling at 14 cedis. The euro is selling at 11 cedis, 96 pesos. It gained 0.02 pesos. However, be guided that these figures will be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, cocoa witnessed no price change, selling at $3,423 per ton. Price of Brent crude oil is down by 1.36%, selling now at $83 per barrel, while the price of an ounce of gold is up by 0.96%, selling at about $1,915.
That was an update from the Forex and Commodities markets. That will be all for Business News on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Menu Afo. We have sports news coming up next.
FM 92.